The Legend of Zelda. Those 4 words are enough to remind me of my childhood. But not only that, but the emotions I felt playing, and are forever present within that title. These feelings are not towards one game, but the entirety of the franchise as a whole. This video is a love letter to the franchise. It is sometimes harder to put into words why I love the series so much. So today, I'll be explaining why this series is very precious to me, and why The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game franchise. 5 years ago, I went to my local Best Buy, looking for some Switch controllers, and I came across a game called The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I knew this game was loved by many. I wanted to try it out. The next morning, I woke up at 9 o'clock. Once I entered in the cartridge and played this game, my life changed for the better. I played hours of this game for months. This game was everything I hoped for. It made me feel like I was Link, slaying monsters, exploring temples, finding ruins, everything I dreamed of. Once I beat Ganon with my horse and shot that final arrow on his head, I cried and was depressed for days because this game was something else. The sensation I felt while playing a piece of art is something I wish I can experience again, so I can feel those same feelings again. The Zelda games mean so much to me personally, and with any chance I get, I always replay them, just to relive that Zelda magic I first felt playing. And no game has come close, except Bloodborne. Before playing the Zelda games, I was a huge Mario fanboy, and still am today. I replayed Super Mario 64 a million times, and even speedrun it once in a while. Once I played Breath of the Wild, I never knew a game could change my life. Most Zelda games have a boy named Link, who is always sleeping and is awakened to fulfill his heroic destiny. Link as a character never shows much personality, other than his determination, and of course, his most noble characteristic, courage. The reason why Nintendo puts us in Link's shoes is so we can identify him as a person, so we can embark upon this journey of saving Hyrule. First, let's talk about world building and visuals. Right from the beginning of the adventure, you are taken into a beautiful world with fantasy landscapes and locations. Opening places in Zelda games are always so memorable, with Kuriku Forest, Outset Island, Skyloft, and the Great Plateau. These places give you a taste of what's to come, and to you, learning the basics of the games. Then you're off to save the day and embark on a journey across amazing and creative areas with glorious visuals. There are so many places where I love to spend time in, and just take in the beauty of the art style and amazing visuals. The Zelda games have very different art styles each one, which is why I love this franchise. The developers are always so creative while making an art style, while they're trying to make something fresh and original to each game. There's a cel-shaded cartoon style to Wind Waker, the realistic and mature charm to Twilight Princess, the watercolor to Skyward Sword, and Breath of the Wild with every single piece of those art styles in one. These art styles are what keeps the games interesting within 35 years later. The world building is also one of my favorites, with locations filled with visuals and interesting lore that makes the world feel so alive. All the different areas are just beautiful to take in. There are many videos on YouTube with fans, including myself, that dive deep into the lore inside these games. Sure, the timeline might be confusing, but we Zelda fans love it no matter what, because the franchise has such fascinating mythology and secrets into why I'm so immersed in. Till this day, there are countless theories about Ocarina of Time, which shows how much depth there is into these worlds. The imagination in these worlds is what keeps me playing them over and over again, and leaves me with memories I will always cherish within my heart to the day I die. The story and characters in Zelda games are always incredibly good, with epic moments and cutscenes that last to the final credits of the game. Each game has a different approach to story, while searching dungeons and saving princesses. Majora's Mask has a 3-day time loop that places characters and importance to plan out and what you have to do with historic storytelling, hidden within side quests, alongside Twilight Princess, with its emphasis on creepiness. In Breath of the Wild, they put the player in a vast world to explore and discover new things while making their own decisions. Link always has a different goal in each game. In Wind Waker, he wants to save his sister, while Twilight Princess has him save the children from his home village. In Skyward Sword, having to simply save Zelda while at the beginning of the game shows the romance between Link and Zelda, showing how close they are as two characters. I can go on for hours explaining the story from each game, but let's talk about the many characters. Most Zelda games have the main story involving Link, Zelda, and Ganon as the main characters. There are many memorable characters like Beetle the shopkeeper, selling you useful items to use on your journey, and many others like the happy mask salesman from Majora's Mask, Goose from Skyward Sword, Rivali from Link Between Worlds, and of course Tingle, who appears in every game. My favorite character has to be Dark Link, mostly because he looks so badass in the games, and the outfit in Breath of the Wild is so killer. These characters help you embark on your journey, and with every finale in these games, or just simply amazingly well done. By the time you make it to the end, you feel like you accomplished something and completed your purpose in the story. I love the music in Zelda. Zelda has the best pieces of music in video game history. The visuals are enhanced with beautiful music tracks, and the exploration is much more enjoyable while listening to the music. A lot of Zelda music has a nostalgic feeling to them, so when I hear a song from one of the games, all the great memories rush towards me and feel a sensation of happiness and sadness. Let's talk about my favorite pieces. The Ocarina of Time with its beautiful title theme while Link is riding Epona across Hyrule Field. Vi's theme from Skyward Sword is haunting, beautiful, and filled with emotion. Song of Healing from Majora's Mask, giving us an emotion of dread and sorrow with feelings of sadness. And my all-time favorite, Life in Ruins from Breath of the Wild, giving us the emotions of exploration and determination in a beautiful, vast world. These pieces of music help the world building and locations by having fitting music with its atmosphere, and sometimes I just like to lay down the controller and look around the beautiful visuals and imagine myself running around and listening to the music. In general, video game music is very underrated and very underappreciated, and The Legend of Zelda being the best example for it and why it's so important. The Legend of Zelda has an uncanny way of mirroring coming-of-age tribulations that I mostly go through along with my life, and with so many people as well. Link must bear the tragedy of fate along his journey, and in each installment, while we feel Link's pain and emotions down within our core, while the issues of loss are different in each game, all Zelda games have one thing in common, and that's showing us and telling us. The purpose in our lives, as much as they are very similar to Link's story. These games give us the most important life lessons and make us better, and these games make me want to be better. I will forever love this series till my last breath, because these games are safe and warm, like your happiest memories. These games remind me that I'm human with life, and that I have purpose, and with that purpose, being great. This is the reason why Zelda is my favorite video game franchise, with it touching me in so many different ways that I wish I can experience again, along with different walks of life. It speaks to me in the very basis of who I am and what it means to be human. Zelda is a word of hope and triumph, and I've always remembered my journey alongside Link and myself. This emotion I felt is something I can't experience over and over every single time. Words can't describe how I feel about this franchise. All I know that it makes me feel happy. These games are what make me who I am today. And I am proud to say that The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game franchise of all time.